Hello, it's my Eurovision 2024 national final season update number 5. Welcome to Matt Loves Eurovision. Please do click the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and obviously like, share, and comment below. As I've been doing the last few weeks, it's just a quick update on kind of how the national finals went the previous weekend, and also to look ahead at what we've got coming up in terms of releases and further national finals in the next few days. Well, we just had the two national finals this past weekend. One was in San Marino, Una Voce per San Marino, and there we had a bit of a surprise winner. I think it had all been sort of lined up, or certainly it seemed to be, that Loredana Berti, who's this legend of Italian rock music, was probably going to win the San Marino contest with her song that she came 7th with in San Remo, which is the Italian music festival. However, she only came 2nd in the end. I think the performance by the winners sort of convinced the lead juror, I think so, in the end, that Megara won. Now, they are a Spanish sort of rock new metal band. Interesting enough, they have previously entered Benidorm Fest, which is Spain's national final selection last year, where they came 4th. They wanted to enter again this year, but they didn't get through to the latter stages, so they didn't present their song at Benidorm Fest. However, they were picked up by San Marino and have gone on to win. And of course, the irony is that the band that won the Benidorm Fest this year, Nebulosa, they tried to represent San Marino last year but didn't get through the audition round. So it's quite an interesting circle that has completed. But it does mean we have two Spanish bands will be at Eurovision this year. The second national final that took place, with the final taking place on Sunday, the two semi-finals had taken place slightly earlier on Thursday and Friday, was in Croatia with Dora, and the very popular winner, Baby Lasagna, won with his song Rim Tim Tagi Dim. This got a gargantuan televote, but he also won the the domestic juries. I did okay with the international juries, but he won the jury vote and won the televote by an absolute landslide. I think he got more votes combined than the rest of than all the other contestants combined, which was, I think, another 15 acts, which was like 15 other acts, and with about 53% of the total vote for the televote, which is on a par with Karia's landslide in Finland last year in the televote. It's been quite a story because he was an alternate. He was not in the original lineup for Dora, and only got put through because one of the pre-selected entries pulled out, and so he's fully self-penned song, self-produced, very sort of independent, no label. So yes, it's a bit of a sort of fairy tale story for him to get to go to Malmö. Now, we've got a clutch of internal selections coming up this week. This is about the time where this late February and into the first week of March is where you suddenly see the many internal entries suddenly start coming out, or at least you get more information about them. So on Thursday, we have 3 things happening on Thursday, the 29th of February. We have Switzerland's artist and song being announced. Now, I don't know at the moment whether or not the song is actually being released that day. I'm not entirely sure. Although we do know it is not a sad male ballad or sort of a sad male song, because that's been the last couple of years they've sent those ones. So we don't know who we're getting, but presumably it might be a bit more upbeat. Although, given the way that the contest's falling, perhaps they would have been better off with a ballad. Who knows? We shall see when that comes out on Thursday. Or we'll know a bit more on Thursday. We also have two countries where we already do know the artist and the title of the song, but we haven't actually had the song yet. So Cyprus with Cilia Capsis, who is actually at the moment, she's the youngest Eurovision entry for 2024. of the ones that we know about, but given that she's 16, it's unlikely there'll be anyone younger. And her song "Liar" will be released on Thursday. We've had a snippet of it already, a 20-second snippet, and also Netherlands will be releasing their song. So Joost is their artist, and his song is called Europapa, and that will also be out on Thursday. Following that, we have two much anticipated internal entries being released on Friday. First up, we will have Austria, Colleen with her song "We Will Rave." Now, there's been, I think, leaks of, certainly there's been snippets of it, or possibly full leaks. It's getting quite a bit of attention, there's quite a bit of discussion about it in the fandom. I've tried to avoid any kind of leaks, so I'll wait till Friday, but that's been getting quite a bit of hype. And we also have our very own Ollie Alexander. Is Dizzy will be fully released for the UK, and that will be on a special show with Graham Norton on the Friday evening. We've had a 20-second snippet of Dizzy, but we were getting the full thing on Friday. And then we've got a couple of national finals taking place over the weekend. Firstly, Serbia, they've got two semi-finals taking place on the Tuesday and the Thursday, with their final taking place on the Saturday. Like many of the national finals this year, there is a repeat kind of Eurovision entry back to see if they can win again. In this case, it is Constractor, who was the Serbian representative in 2022. She finished 5th, of course, with Incorpore Sano, so it's quite a big thing to live up to. Now, previous artists have not done great this year in national finals. We've only had one that's been successful and is returning to Eurovision, which was in Moldova, but we'll have to see whether Constractor can manage that. I don't have any info on who the favourite is for that one. I haven't had a lot of info about that, so that should be quite a surprise to see what we come up with for Serbia. And then we have the Icelandic final. So they've already had two semi-final rounds over the previous two Saturdays. Their final is this coming Saturday. They only have 5 songs in the final, so it's not a big final, though it still seems to go on as long as any other national final, even with just 5 songs. They've got the favourite there is Bashar Murad with his song "Wild West." However, they've got he does have a couple of sort of rivals or sort of potential other winners. Anita with "Downfall" and another returning artist. We have Hera Björk, who represented Iceland back in 2010, the year of the Icelandic volcano, as I recall, and she had I saw her at the RVT. She's a lovely lady, big voice, but yes, let's see whether she can get back to the contest or not. But at the moment, Bashar Murad is the very big, clear favourite for that one. In fact, possibly quite high in the overall odds as well, the overall Eurovision odds as well, if he is successful. So that's what we've got coming up. There will be more coming up the following week, and so what I'll do is I'll probably try and do an early-ish in the week update and preview, as I'm doing this time. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's certainly shaping up to be very varied, sort of a lot of variety in the songs we've had. I did have a bit of feedback from some of my friends who I've not seen, but since I'm up in Newcastle now, down in London, some Eurovision fans who are saying they were feeling a bit underwhelmed this year, which I have to say is a sentiment that I don't agree with at all. I think it's a really interesting selection. I think maybe they, like me, are from a particular demographic, gay men, white gay men over 40, and maybe the set of songs is not as traditional as we might normally get at Eurovision. I don't know. I think it's really nice to see this variety in the contest, and I think there's been a little bit of a carrier effect in the sense, not that we've got songs trying to copy Cha 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 or that side, but I think it's that kind of being bold and doing different, bringing different kind of genres to the contest that might not necessarily have gone before or be seen as likely to be successful. So I think that gives us a greater mix, and we've got a lot of good mix of native languages coming this year as well. So, and we still have a lot of songs still to come. So I think it is an exciting year with no super clear winner, because I think quite quickly as we got to, by the time we got to kind of all the songs being released, I think we had already slipped into very much a 2-horse race of Finland versus Sweden. I'm not sure I see that happening this year necessarily, unless we get 1 or 2 songs that really are head and shoulders above all the rest. I think there's going to be a cluster of songs that could all have potential of winning, and so it's quite exciting to not know who the winner is sort of in advance, or the winner coming from a larger pool of songs, I think is very exciting for all of us. But anyway, let's see what we get in the next few days, and I'll be back next week for a bit of an update and a preview on what's coming at us. But take care for now. Take care.